What is up, guys? My name's Simian. My name is Yin. I play simulation games. Did you see what I did there? Just a quick reminder that I am doing a giveaway where there'll be 2 winners for the new Chef Hustle Stuff Pack. All you have to be doing is following my Twitter as well as subscribe to my YouTube channel. And yes, PC, Mac, and console is available for entry. Everything that you need will be linked down below in the description. Alright, let's go back to the video. This is part of my rebranding where I'm bringing other games to you guys other than The Sims. But now we all know of The Sims 4. The Sims 4 is actually one of the biggest simulation life games that you can play right now on console, PC, or Mac. One thing about The Sims 4 is that they have been on top for a long time as far as simulation goes. Well, now we officially have 4 live simulation games that are going to be coming out next year, and a lot of people are suggesting which one is going to be on top. Let's start off with Vivaland. If you guys are familiar with Vivaland, you can actually find out more over on Steam. The live simulation game built with a multiplayer in mind from the top ground up. Every household in Vivaland is controlled by real players around the world. I remember when this game first got leaked and a lot of people thought it was going to be fake. Well, it seems like it's going to be real because it's officially on Steam. And how did I know that Steam is actually credible? Where there's actually a process. Not only that, but you do have to wait a 30-day period between when you pay the app fee and when you can release your game. Now, this does give them time to review and confirm that all the information that they're doing is legit. They also say you need to prepare your store page and put a publicly visible coming soon page for at least 2 weeks. Now, Vivaland is also coming out on Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 10, and Windows 11. So if you do have a Mac or if you're on console, it's unfortunately not going to be out yet, but who knows, maybe with the right amount of exposure, they might end up going towards a bigger audience. Now, one thing that's interesting about Vivaland is that a lot of people compared it to Paralives, and which we'll get into in just a second. But I want to continue on with Vivaland, and they said not only that, but you can create unique characters, experience life in Vivaland, and build your dream houses and worlds. You can also improve your skills and find your calling. That also reminded me of Manifest, and if you know, you know. They said you can also find good hobbies like painting, writing, gardening, cooking, and playing instruments. You can also repair objects and craft recipes. The thing about this is that it is experience in a Vivaland. You can turn your hobbies into fruitful careers, and you can create your family to raise generations, party, and socialize. Now, if you go onto their website, it actually looks pretty legit. Now, Vivaland is also on Discord, and a lot of people have been talking it up. Not only that, but they actually have a website where you can find out many more things that are going on. Not only do they have a Discord, but they also have a Patreon, a Twitter, a TikTok, YouTube, and also, of course, the Steam page in which we already saw. Now, I don't know how indie this game just is, but the fact that they do have a Patreon lets me know that this might be just an indie game. But I do find it interesting in order to get a little bit more information other than the trailer is that everything is behind a paywall. Now, personally for me, that's not a good look when it comes down to a simulation game that you're trying to promote because it does come off a little bit fishy, but who knows? You guys let me know down below in the comments how you guys feel about that. Now, Vivaland is set to come out in 2024, and I would love to know your thoughts and opinions on what exactly you think about this game. Although at the beginning when this first leaked, a lot of people did think that it was sketchy, and that not only that, but it had a very similar vibe to the way Paralives designs their houses. Let's talk about Paralives. Paralives is an upcoming life simulation game that's going to be coming out very soon, and not only that, but they do call them Parafolks. Paralives is an upcoming life simulation game, and it's going to be available for PC and Mac. Unfortunately, console, you are going to have to sit this one out, but hopefully with the right amount of audience, they do end up joining you guys on board. They did say you can also build your own dream house and create characters and manage their lives. Now, the difference between Paralives, like any other life simulation game, is for me personally, the graphics. Personally for me, when Paralives first started, I did think it looked a little too cartoony for me, but as the graphics got better and better, I will have to say I am quite interested to see the final result. Now, just to get into Paralives a little bit, they also said there's going to be a build mode, a creative mode, and a live mode. Now, with the live mode, you can go ahead and take care of your pets, focus on your careers, find true love, spend time with friends and family, and you can also discover other things outside of the world. You can put on your best outfit and call some friends and use your bike or car to meet them at the park. Now, this is also made with the community. So Paralives is made by lovers of simulation games with the support of the community to make it best can be. Now, personally for me, I do feel like, again, with things being locked behind a paywall, the reason they put it behind paywalls is because they have to make their money some way, somehow, correct? Right, I see your point and logic behind that, but I also feel like there's games like Loftia who actually put out a lot of their stuff and just did a Kickstarter, and people who wanted to support could support, and if you wanted a little bit more, such as early access, you paid even more. But for that, a lot of information has been out to the public, and the people who want to support will support. We're not talking about that life simulation game because it's kind of on the lines of Animal Crossing, but again, let's get back into Paralives. Now, the thing about Paralives is that it was a little bit controversial because of how long it's been since they first released and announced that the game is coming out. It's been a couple of years in the making, and unfortunately, we don't even have a timeline on when exactly we should see this. Again, Paralives is a small team, but if you go onto their website, they actually do have a development section where you can check out exactly the process since when they first created and started back in 2019. They tell you the development process and how long it's been and what they've created over the course of the past couple of years. Many players are wondering when are they going to get an announcement on an official date. There is nothing to be said. Again, their last current status was of September 2023, which is actually this month that I'm actually posting this, or they're developing the live mode core systems and creating various art assets, as well as creating more character animations, working on the soundtrack of the game, and brainstorming designs and different ideas. I'd be very curious to see what you guys actually think about Paralives. Me personally, I do think Paralives is going to be a hit or miss, and I've heard mixed reviews on it, so I would love to know yours. Next up, we have one of the biggest life simulation games that has people talking and buzzing, and not only on Twitter but on YouTube as well, and it's Life by You. Life by You is an upcoming simulation game where it's open world. You heard that right, open world. It's been a very long time since we had a life simulation game with not only open world, but also the amount of things that you can do, such as go to the grocery store, hang out with friends, ride a bike, skateboard, get married, and talk to your friends next door without a loading screen. This is going to be one of the biggest game changers in life simulation games since The Sims. Again, The Sims is going to be talked about later on, but again, I do want to talk about Life by You. Now, with Life by You, not only is it an open world, but you can also expand your creativity, take direct control, and tell stories through conversations. Every real language conversation is generated based on your human's unique situation. You can also drag and drop your humans into their place or drive them directly in third-person mode. Live the life on one or tell the stories of many. Climb a career ladder, fall in love, or you can even raise a family. You can carefully create your customized humans and design your families in the human creator. Unfortunately, Life by You got a lot of backlash because of the graphics. They felt that they weren't right and that they were a little old school and using basically an engine that was pretty old. Now, one of the biggest things that got talked with Life by You, one of the biggest things that got people talking was the fact that Rod Humble was actually a part of this entire game process. He's actually an ex-producer over on The Sims. Now, because The Sims is kind of lacking in The Sims 4, and we'll get into that in just a bit, a lot of people have believed that this game is supposed to be somewhat of a success, considering that he did work on Sims 1. Now, unfortunately, with all the backlash they did receive on the graphics, they ended up deciding to push the early access date. Many users were excited about the early access, and many people were encouraged to actually join Life by You. There was even talks of people saying that they're not going to play The Sims anymore once this game comes out. But unfortunately, early access did get pushed back because of the way the graphics looked, and Rod Humble was actually very open and talkative about the whole situation. But when it comes down to the gaming process, many people have questions. Early access, again, of course, when it's going to be the early access, as well as what's going to happen with marriage, what's going to happen with the open worlds, how open world is it going to be? Are you going to be able to have a banking system? How many groceries can you get? How many people in a household can you bring in? Again, many players have so many questions, and one thing I will say in particular is that the Life by You team actually does a very good job with a lot of their Q&As. Now, this is one of the best things that has actually kept this company where it is as far as status and how many players are actually excited to use this. Unfortunately, this is for PC players, and Mac and console, we are gonna have to sit this one out. I say we because I am in a Mac right now, but I'm hoping to have a PC by the time this comes out, which is going to be next year. Now, you can find more information about Life by You over on Steam. They actually have a lot of different things, but they're saying their release date for this game is going to be March 5th, 2024. Now, that's not too far from now, and I'd be really curious to see if you guys are going to be joining in on the early access. Not only that, but they do have a pre-order on Epic or on Steam, and they do have a website where you can find out more information as well as the FAQs. There's a lot of information out there, and so far, this is probably one of the best life simulation games to me since The Sims. So if you guys have any questions, I highly recommend their Twitter page. When I tell you that the social media manager or whoever's running their page is on point with everything, I mean that. And one of the last games I'm going to talk about is The Sims. Now, if you don't know The Sims, you probably are living under a rock, because when I tell you it's the biggest life simulation game that we've ever had in the past couple of years, I mean that. As of right now, and up until 2024, we'll see which one ends up being on top. Now, with The Sims is actually a life simulation game where you can do all kind of things. There's actually a franchise to this whole thing. Sims 1, Sims 2, Sims 3, and Sims 4. The Sims 4 has been one of the most controversial games I have ever seen in my life. Not only that, but they have also had a lot of bugs and glitches and issues repeating over and over. The consistency in which the team has responded back is not so great when it comes down to their customers, and many people feel like they're being ripped off. A lot of things hindered The Sims, especially when they made that bold move with, unfortunately, EA telling everyone they have to download the EA app instead of using Origin. Now, with the EA app came a lot of bugs and issues, and a lot of people are just not feeling it. There's been times where people can not only access their game, but unfortunately even have packs missing. With all that news, you would think The Sims 4 would actually bring to light what's going on with the EA app. Backlash unfortunately got so bad that they even created a separate Twitter where you can announce and talk about all things wrong with The Sims 4 and go ahead and leave your complaint. But unfortunately, The Sims Direct hasn't been that direct, and many people are leaving to go to the Sim Gurus, who many people feel are kind of being around the bush when it comes down to answers regarding the game. With that being said, this game has been out for over 9 years and many players are feeling that it's unfortunately incomplete. Now this game is very controversial because although some people feel like this game is perfect and that there is nothing wrong with it, other players feel that this is incomplete and probably one of the worst in the franchise. They released kits, they felt that the Sims 4 franchise was going more towards a microtransaction game rather than actually being able to just play the game just for how it is. Now with all the DLC totaling over 1,000 plus US dollars, The Sims 4 is pretty self-explanatory and you can unleash your imagination and create a unique world of Sims that expressions of you. Now The Sims has actually been made free, and once they've been made free, they've actually gained over 70 million players in total playing The Sims 4. And with popular social media such as TikTok, I feel like a lot of people are finding out about it on a daily basis. A lot of people are speculating that the reason that The Sims 4 franchise is the way it is because there's a lot of newcomers versus the OGs that have been there since franchise 1. If you look at The Sims 1 versus you look at The Sims 4, it's completely different. But if you're an OG player, I believe that up to you to decide, and go ahead and comment down below on your thoughts and opinions on that. With The Sims 4, there's actually a long ways to go when it comes down to how much more they could add to the game because they're actually stretching out everything pack by pack. It may sound like I'm being a little biased, but mostly because I play The Sims a lot and I'm very passionate about the game. With The Sims, you can still have your own creativity with the amount of CCs and mods, and not only that, but also being able to use cheats and of course finding out ways to explore your own kind of gameplay. With that all being said, I would love to know your thoughts and opinions on not only The Sims and not only Life by You and not only Paralives and not only Vivaland, but all simulation games in general, especially any ones that I didn't cover. Now in the next couple of weeks, I will be covering these 4 games in particular, and if you guys have any more you'd like me to check out, go ahead and comment and leave it down below. And I'm really excited to cover more and more news regarding all of these games. I do plan on getting a PC soon, so you will be expecting some gameplay from me once these do come out. With that being said, thank you guys so much for watching, and if you did enjoy this video or learn something new, please give it a thumbs up because it truly does help out my channel. And I cannot believe I'm saying this, but we are on the road to 30K, y'all. 30 freaking K. That is insane. That is a dream come true, and that's all thanks to you guys. Whether you're a silent viewer, whether you comment on my videos, or whether you share them, at the end of the day, you still watch my channel in some sort of way, and for that, I thank you. With that all being said, I will see you guys all in the next video. Bye!